How's it going, guys? Coconut water here. So you've probably been wondering where I've been these last 2 or 3 weeks, and I was actually in Los Angeles for 1 week. I actually left on the Sunday I was supposed to upload a video, and came back on the other Sunday I was supposed to upload a video. So I basically fucking missed 2 weeks of uploading, and the other week I was just lazy. I'm not gonna make a whole apology video explaining where I was because that shit's just kind of stupid to me. But thanks for sticking around. That's really great of you guys. Today I got one of the more crazier stories for you guys, and this took place over the summer. This last summer actually, around probably mid-August, I'm gonna say. And I was with my retarded friend. You'll see why I say that in a minute. And we had spent the whole day at the beach and had brought our bikes with us. And sometime while we were there, my friend found one of those newspaper dispensaries where it's just like take one, whatever. You know those things. He took a fuck ton of these newspapers, and I had no idea why, but after coming back from the beach, just as we were about to bike home, we're standing in this parking lot, and he pulls these newspapers out of his bag. So he tells me to go ahead and light these newspapers on fire. We're standing basically in the middle of this parking lot, right beside a boat launch where there's dozens of people just doing their thing. So I'm standing there like, what the fuck? And he just told me to do it, and then we could go home. I don't know what fucking force compelled me to do this. I don't know if I was just half retarded that day. I wasn't high. I wasn't drunk. I was completely sober. But I just took the papers, rolled them up really tightly, and lit the end on fire. And this shit went fucking up, dude. These flames were at least 3 feet high. And I know that's not that fucking tall, but for some newspapers, that's pretty fucking tall. So I put this on the ground because I don't really feel like getting burnt. And there's like 10 people watching us. And at this point, some guy, he's in his truck. He just honked his horn at us. And I saw him get out, so I was like, fuck that. I tried to stomp this thing out with my bike tire and my foot as best as I could, and after that I basically ditched, and this guy's just like, hey, come back here. And my friend followed with me, and we're freaking out because we don't know if these people just call the cops. We biked as fast as we could down this little road that leads all the way to another beach, and as we're going this way, we see this kid who goes to our school just standing outside of his house, and he just stares at us as we're biking by. So we bike all the way to this little beach, and there's like a couple houses here. All of them are like beachfront property, and I had only been there like once before this, about a year ago, but there's a little section of beach open to the public. So we're standing on this road right by this beach, not having a clue what to do, and this kid who we just saw earlier comes down on his bike. He catches up to us, and he just fucking grabs my shirt with his fists and asked why I tried to burn his neighborhood down. And I was like, dude, what the fuck, calm down. I basically explained to him the whole thing that had happened, and after that he seemed to have calmed down. He said he wasn't going to like snitch or anything like that, but he just wanted to let us know that the cops were after us and that a bunch of neighbors were looking for us as well. We said thanks, and he just biked up back towards where we came from, probably back towards his house, I don't know. But I said to my friend that we had to hide in this water and that there was no other option for us because otherwise we were going to get caught by the police if they really were after us. And, you know, no one fucking feels like getting caught by the police for some stupid shit you just did. Especially if it was lighting a stack of newspapers on fire right in a parking lot. And my friend was basically like, I'm not hiding in the lake. I'm not doing that. I didn't light the fire. And I was like, dude, we have to. You're in as much shit as me. And he was like, yeah, no, I'm good. And decided to go back that way, back up into town and back towards his house. So I ran into the public beach section with my bike and kind of hopped into the private area owned by people, and I basically decided that instead of hiding in the water, I could just hide up in a canyon just behind someone's house there. So as I'm crossing this person's lawn, this lady comes out of her house. So she looks at me and she's just like, what are you doing? And I just said I was taking my bike up there because I heard there was a biking trail, and I asked if I could just cross by her yard. So she said she was perfectly fine as long as I didn't wreck anything of hers. And as soon as she said that, I was like, okay, thanks, and just ran over some flowers. And this lady just looked so pissed, and she's like, yeah, that's probably not a good idea. Don't go through there. So there I am on the shore of the water, and I decide to just go in. I'm in my brand new shoes, my hoodie, and some jeans, and I had a backpack, so I put my shoes in my backpack because, you know, don't want to fuck them up, and I ran into the water with my bike, and I hid the bike under the water, just enough so that if you looked out, you couldn't see it. So I'm walking in this water, it's about up to my waist, and I'm following the shoreline to this very small beach that I know of, and it was actually where I went a year ago. It's kind of like there's like a mudslide there. I don't know, it's a really cool place, but you're probably just asking yourself why I didn't walk on the sand towards this beach, and it's because it's just a canyon. There's no actual place to walk between where I left and the little beach, and it's literally a cliff going into the water. Eventually, the water got pretty deep, and I couldn't hold my backpack and my phone in the air above my head any longer. So I put my phone in my bag, and I hung it on this branch coming out of the mountain, and basically continued. So I made my way to this beach, and I'm fucking drenched up to my neck. And as soon as I got there, I just laid down thinking of what to do. And after about 10 minutes of sitting there in the cold breeze, I just decided it was best to face the consequences and at least have a fucking towel. So I went all the way back, grabbed my backpack and shit on the way back, meanwhile getting my feet cut on all these rocks because that shit was sharp as fuck. Grabbed my bike, got back on the shore, took my shoes out of my bag and put them back on, and they ended up getting wet because I dipped my bag in the water, I think, but I was really disappointed because they were like brand new. So I'm making my way back across the beach, that private area, and the same lady before actually saw me, and I asked her if she had any bandages because I actually ended up cutting my foot really bad on one of the rocks. So she went inside, patched me up, and asked if I ended up finding that biking trail, to which I just said no. But I made my way back to the road where my friend had left me, and I biked all the way back, still fucking wet, my bike's wet too, all the way back to where I lit this fire, and I didn't see any cop cars anywhere, everything just seemed normal, so I thought I was okay. I made my way all the way up this hill, back to the main part of town, and this isn't a little hill, this is a pretty big hill, it's at least 1 or 2 kilometers big. I don't know what that is in miles, sorry American viewers, but just use Google or something, I don't know. But I got home, put my bike in my backyard, and I asked my dad if anyone had been there, as in police, which probably looked shady as fuck, but I didn't really care. I really thought I made it, guys. I really thought I got away with it. When I realized no one was there for me, I just hopped in the shower, came out and put on some warm pajamas, and no joke, about 5 minutes later, I hear a knock on my door. So my dad answered the door, and about a minute later he called me down and said that there was a visitor for me, which just happened to be a fucking cop. The police officer told my dad everything, and he didn't seem too happy about it, and when I got there, the cop asked if I had lit a fire at the beach, and I was just like, yeah. So she said she was just thankful for my honesty and to consider that a warning because I've never been in trouble with the police before this, and that if that stuff ever happened again, they could charge me with a count of like arson and mischief or something like that. So I said I acknowledged it, and I was just happy that I got off with a warning and said goodbye, and that was basically it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this bit of a longer story. Hopefully it made up for the 3 weeks I was away. I've been wanting to tell this story for a while, and I just figured that now was a good time. But make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new. Thanks so much for watching, and yeah, peace.
Pull up on your block and we squirting nines. Niggas wanna duke it, this the right time. Counting up hella bands. Using my guap as a face fan. K Supreme, that's my right hand. Niggas mobbing deep like a Taliban. Right now I'm a Harlem boy, but Lil Yachty from Atlanta stand. Stack of cheddar cheese on my nightstand. If my money low, then watch your life, man. And we still get it for the gusto. Young hot head, man, cutthroat.